How's it going, guys? Jace here. I am back finally after a few months break playing some MTG again. It's been a while since I played some Magic, really, some especially on Arena. I haven't really played much Standard for a while, but we are back uploading regularly again on the channel with a bunch of different formats. We're not going to be focusing just on Standard anymore. I'm going to be playing Modern, Pioneer, Timeless, and of course we'll be playing some Brawl as well, and Standard. So at the moment, of course, we had the recently new Standard set drop, the Murders of Call of Mana. I haven't really played much of the format, so it's going to be really interesting to see how things go moving forward with, you know, this format. Of course, we've got the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which sounds pretty cool and looks pretty cool what they've shown so far. So let's see what new things are going to be happening. So today we do have a Golgari mid-range deck. We'll be playing a best of 3 of Standard, so I'm going to be doing some best of 3 games to really kind of see how good it is, you know, using sideboards. I'm so used to playing best of 3 anyway. It's kind of weird playing best of 1. I'm so used to having a sideboard and being able to try and outplay my opponent, not heavily rely on my opening hands on how well the game goes. And it might give us some bit of diversity when it comes to the format as well, rather than playing against mono red all the time. So yeah, we're playing some best of 3 today. Golgari midrange. Look, I love Golgari. I think it's, you know, a really fun archetype. A lot of the cards I already have. There isn't a huge amount of new cards to add in, but there are still some really, really good, strong cards, I think, in this deck. And of course, we'll be going through the sideboard as well. So first off, we are running 3 copies of Cut Down, a nice sheet removal spell. It's just been a standard all-star for like the longest time possible. Then we got 1 copy of Bitter Triumph, nice little one-off to deal with creatures. Then we got the Deep-Cavern Bat. I mean, this has actually been a powerhouse card. I mean, I'm playing this like Espen Midrange and a bunch of other decks in the past. Still around, still doing pretty good. Then we got 3 Go for the Throat, in my opinion. Still best removal spell in the format, really, really strong. Then 4 Mosswood Dreadknight. This guy's great, you know, 3/2 body with trample, get in there, deal some damage. Gives you that card advantage as well. It's everything you want, really, in a mid-range deck. And this card really does the job. 1 Tear Asunder, being able to exile something is very good. Especially if you kick it, it could be any non-land opponent, which is fantastic. Then we got 4 copies of the Preacher. I actually have been playing this card a little bit recently. I never really played with it in the past. This guy's strong. A 3-mana 2/4 Death Touch. You can start making 1/1s, start drawing cards. Difficult to fight through if you're an aggressive deck. I like it. Very, very cool. Then we have 3 copies of the Sentinel of the Nameless City. It's pretty decent stats. I mean, a 3-mana 3/4 Vigilance is not bad. And then it gives you advantage every time it attacks, and especially when it comes into play by getting map tokens. This is actually a really good mid-range grindy card, and I'm here for it, to be fair. Then we got 1 copy of the Tranquil Frillback. This is a nice versatile card, being able to gain some life, destroy target after enchantment, or interact with the opponent's graveyard is pretty good. And, you know, this deck can, you know, get a decent amount of mana, can go for that mid to late game, and that kind of helps. 3 Glissa, the Sunslayer. This card's just great. I mean, you know, difficult to attack into, great to attack with, card advantage. It's just all wrapped in one, and that first strike and Death Touch is just brutal. So yeah, really good free drop to kind of go with like kind of an aggressive style, which I quite like. Then we are going aggressive. We've got the Archfiend of the Dross. We're not playing Shieldred in this deck, but we are playing the Archfiend. The big creature. I mean, a 6/6 flyer is nothing to, you know, ignore, to be fair. It's going to deal some insane damage, and most of the time your opponent's going to die before it runs out of oil counters. It is that good, you know. And you know, Shieldred's great, and Shieldred has great stats. You know, you can punch your opponent for drawing cards and the like. But this is just raw power, and flying is very relevant, and it's just a huge body, so that's what we're giving it a go. Then we have 1 copy of Aclazotz. I've actually played with this guy before, the Bat Gods. I do rate him. He's really good against aggressive decks. Pretty grindy against control decks as well, being able to come back, you know, after turning to a land after dying, and then just making a bunch of tokens and making your opponent discard cards. And you can potentially draw cards as well. Kind of does quite a few things, which I do really like. But it is 5 mana, so only playing 1. Then we have 2 Gix's Commands. Great way to bring back stuff. Deal with all of those small opponents' creatures and their biggest. I really like this. It's nice to have a board sweeper against, you know, token-based strategies, creature-based strategies, and, you know, bring back stuff against control. Can be quite nice. Then 1 Virtue of Persistence, which is a great way to just kill a creature, gain some life, and then, of course, if you play this with 7 mana, bring back stuff from the graveyard, which is always super useful. And then the lands, which got a bunch of basics, obviously swamps and forests. We got the you know, channeling lands, which I do really rate. You know, Boseiju to deal with lands, artifacts, enchantments. We got the Abandoned Mind to bring stuff back from the graveyards. Then we got some green-black jewels, and then we got 4 Restless Cottage to get in there, deal some damage, gain some life, and interact with the graveyard. Right, moving on to the sideboard, we've got 4 copies of Duress, Kragan's Control, combo decks, anything like that. Just nice to have. You know, you're not going to play in the main decks, you put them in the sideboard. Then we are actually running 4 copies of Path of Peril, which is fantastic. You know, this is just a great against, you know, small creature decks. We can't cleave it, but we can just kill all small creatures. There are a lot of small creature decks running around that I've played against. It's going to be a good one. 2 more copies of the Frillback, being able to interact with graveyards and gain a bunch of life and interact with artifacts and enchantments is always quite good. Then goes for Tear Asunder to interact with, you know, big things, artifacts, enchantments, and the like, which is quite nice. 2 Liliana the Veil can punish control decks if they can't deal with to make them, you know, rip apart their hand. And then a one-of copy of Nissa if, you know, we want to go big and above our opponent and you're playing against a grindy matchup. This is a nice one to kind of get into. So that is the deck. If you do want to give this deck a try, guys, the deck list will be in the description below. Like I say, we're going to be playing a best of 3 standard game along with the sideboard. So we're going to see how good this deck will perform. Get into it. Alright, going first. Yes, please. Okay, so opening hand, we have decent amount of lands. Yeah, pretty good. No removal, though. But I'll still keep. We'll start off with tap lands. Probably, yeah, turn 2, Deep-Cavern Bat, depending on what I'm playing against. Alright, so we have fetch. Tapped fetch. Okay, I think we'll just play one of the Dreadknights, I think. Just get some damage in. Be a little bit aggressive. And we'll go from there. Potentially play Preacher. I mean, it depends what my opponent's playing. I've got a 0-3. Alright. Be some sort of spell-based control deck. By the looks of things. Okay, that's a good choice. I'll have to play the Boseiju. Right, we'll get this down. I think we'll just go for the aggressive gameplay here. You'll get in there, get the damage in, play the Archfiend, which is, you know, big threat. Pen lands that can play tapped, which I don't mind as much. Means they have slower plays. They clearly need to have a decent amount of mana to make the iteration work, although they haven't even grabbed the red yet. Okay. Let's go mill some cards. What has my opponent's been milling? Bunch of land. Virtue of Strength thing. So they can go land, sack. Well, I can't really kill it, so let's just get the Archfiend down. And let's swing him. Okay. They basically have to take a whole entire turn off. They're still taking a ton of damage. I mean, if they play an untapped land, sack this, they do gain 2 life, bunch of mana, but then they lose 2 life because it dies, and then they're going to take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty crazy. Could do with a removal spell here though. Removal would be pretty good. Okay, that's another tap land. Nissa's pretty good. Allows them to ramp. Really need a removal. Yeah. Go for throat, something like that. Would be pretty good. Because otherwise they're just going to sack one of these and just gain like an absolute ton of mana from like all this land. Another bat. Not what I want. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going to swing in anyway. Hopefully draw removal. No. Okay. Now the thing is, I could Deep-Cavern Bat. Yeah, it's Deep-Cavern Bat. Let's rip apart their hand. Okay, so they can return all the lands anyway. Get rid of the memory deluge. Is it just lands? Yeah. Can they cast that from the graveyard? No. The rest of the hand doesn't really do much. Like, they got the iterations. They get back all the land. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Seeing one of these. Alright. Over to your opponent. Yeah, over to you. Gotta make this turn count, otherwise it's gonna be pretty much game over. Nissa, sure. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty tough. I think it's going to be pretty tough for them to win this. Galvanic Iteration. Cool. Yeah, so they go to 3. Gain a bunch of life. Gain a bunch of mana. And they can either get an elf or an elemental. Okay, don't really care about that. I took the Memory Deluge because that's where they can sink their mana into to try and find something to actually get me here. Oh, a cool deck though. I do like this. It's a lot of good combo little synergies. It's mainly this card that I'm afraid of. This one here, when they got all this mana in play. Pretty brutal. How much mana they got? They got like 8 mana. 9 mana. 10 mana. Like, or more. That's just a lot. There's a lot. Although they got nothing in their hand, which really does anything. I mean, they could keep sacking and bring back these fetch lands. Gain more life and gain more mana, but I don't know if it's enough. We'll see. What they drew. I don't know what this card here is. Okay, elf. Mill 3. Sure. Probably want to try and hit like a Memory Deluge. Okay, they lose more life. And they gain a bunch of life. And these hit in the battle. Yeah. Okay, so 5. They all need something. Yeah. Because they got 1, 2. Yeah, they've played all of these. They've got no more milling. It just depends what this last card is. Because I mean, what they've gained a bunch of life, and they can't really attack in. Can't really not attack, but they can't really like survive an attack from me. They're gonna take at least 7 in the air. They might do. They might do. But then also, then I have trample with a lot of these creatures, and if their creature dies, they also lose 2 life. So I have a lot of power in play. I have 13 mana. Yeah. Maybe what they're doing is they're just trying to gain a ton of life to keep themselves in it, in the hopes to draw something good. Yeah. I do have another bat though, so I can try and snipe something out of their hand, which is always a good possibility for me to try and do. Yep. More cycling. I mean, at this right moment in time, they clearly have nothing to do. But what they want to do is just gain a bunch of life to try and survive one more turn. I mean, how much have I got in play? So 7 is unblockable because it's flying. Then, let's say, if they don't block anything, they take 7, 10, 15. Enough to survive. Yeah, it's enough to survive. I just hope I draw removal. Yeah, I just hope I draw some form, go for a throw, anything like that would be incredible right now. Yep. You got a lot of mana though. How much is that? That's 19 mana minimum. 20 mana? Crazy. Hey, they might one-shot me if they do have one of those copies of that, what was it, World Soul Rage or whatever it is? They're attacking in. Yeah, they were doing it as a life buffer. They're back up to 20. Okay. Alright. After all that, they conceded. Okay, right. Let's go into the next game. So, basically a control/combo deck. with creatures. So I think we'll go with Duress. I think Duress is going to be pretty useful here. Removing their graveyard is key. Don't really care about the god. Gix's command's kind of weak as well. Virtue's kind of good because I got 3 toughness stuff. Cutdown's good. Deals with the 1/3. Maybe just do 2 cut down. Bit of Triumph. Yeah, that's fine. Tear Asunder's kind of bad. Sentinel's kind of doesn't really do much. Breach is good because it's got Death Touch and it can give me some card advantage. I think that's probably about right. I don't really think there's, we've got cut down to deal with the small creatures, Duress interaction. We've got the Frillback to exile their graveyard, which is obviously super duper key. Liliana's okay, but not great. Yeah, we'll try this. We've got good removal, got like go for the throat, stuff like that. But I think interacting with their graveyard is very necessary, I think. And then Duress is good, taking like a Memory Deluge or, any of these other stuff. We did see quite a lot of like actual spells in the graveyard. Alright, opponent going first. Yeah, this is good. We can deal with creature, we can Duress them, and we've got our creature myself, so not too bad. Not too bad. Probably won't fire off the Duress just yet though. No. We'll play the swamp, pass. Okay, drew a land. Not a great draw. Don't need any more mana. Don't really care about that guy either. Oh. It's this guy I want to kill. That's a good draw. I can deal with a Nissa. Still pass. We play Nissa here. Nope. Okay. I know some more. Cool. Cut down this guy. I don't do any ramping. Yeah, just get a creature down. I mean, theirs is bigger, but I can kill it, so it's no problem. Yeah. Ooh, maybe that dress would have been good. Yeah, okay. Forgot about Spelling Reclamation, to be fair. If they moved a lot of... Look at this mana ramp, that's insane. Okay, so here, probably just gonna... This... That's a good one. Land... Dress them. Virtue of Strength. No. Actually, I won't. I'll just. Yep. Cool. I mean, I can fight through it now. It's a 4/5 vigilant. So. They've got mana, but they got nothing at the moment. They're top decking, so Virtue of Strength. Okay. Don't really see Virtue of Strength. It's the first time I've seen that in a long time. I think it's the first time ever, I think. So far, looking good, pretty good. Oh, okay, they did drew another Virtue of Strength. Okay. Yep, you want to return lands. Fine. We get the Chancellor down. I think I'll go straight for the Virtue. Tap his land for mana. That's 3 times that mana instead. Okay, well they've just got all the mana under the sun, which I'm fine with. Just keep jamming in. I've got 10 power in play. Pretty scary stuff. And I got a removal spell. I mean, they got all the mana in the world, so they got all the mana, nothing to do with it at the moment. Pretty good. Yep. Mill some more. I mean, they could hit a Memory Deluge. No. Do I kill this guy? Do I? Ooh. So hang on. Is there anything in their graveyard I want to hit? Probably not. Like in particular with this land. Probably not. We're gonna jam in there anyway. We're attacking for 14. Let's go land. Go on this. What they do? I mean, they're gonna gain some life. Okay, oh. Back in. Or just take a land. Kinda seems a bit lame, right? Yeah, we'll just take a land. Okay, I'm attacking for a lot. 10, 14 damage. Yep. Oh. Yep, they're going to gain a bunch of life. Right, so they got one turn. One turn to get them out of it. There's no point Boseiju in this because they've already got enough mana to do whatever they want. Of course, if they hit Memory Deluge, it's pretty much game over for me. Okay, they're on 10. On 8. What did they hit? GG's. Oh, that was a good one. Alright, not too bad. Well, that was a crazy game. My opponent gained a bunch of mana, did some cool stuff, but unfortunately couldn't really do much with it. I mean, the first game, being able to take that Memory Deluge was key. They were trying to buy time by gaining a bunch of life, but they couldn't really get ahead. And then in game 2, they had all the mana, but nothing to do with it again. I mean, I was able to, get around a lot of their stuff. I mean, they did get the lands with the Splendid Reclamation, which is obviously very good for them. But I was able to put on the pressure and get in there and deal the damage. And luckily they had kind of a bit of a terrible draw. If they hit a Memory Deluge at any point in that, in that game, would have been pretty much game over for me, but it was quite fortunate. So I do actually like this deck. I will be playing it again in future games, against other decks in the format. But that was a cool team of control list, like a ramp combo style list, which I quite like. Could be a deck that I could play myself in the future. Overall, this deck seemed pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't really change much. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you could tweak around with a few creatures here and there, maybe add in some different types of removal. The sideboard really performed. I think I sideboarded quite well in that matchup by having the Duress to interact with those spells and the Frillbacks to interact with their graveyard. Even though we didn't draw it, that would have been a good one as well, because that deck heavily relies on getting lands back from their graveyard or interacting with their graveyard. But if you made it this far into the video, guys, and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and make sure you subscribe for more Magic content. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments about this deck. What would you change? And maybe about my opponent's deck, whether or not you would want to see me play that. And let me know if there's any decks that you'd like to see me play across any of the formats, because like I say, we'll be covering a bunch of different formats pretty much across the board in Magic, especially Modern. Really enjoy Modern, so if you like Modern or Pioneer or anything like that, then expect to see some videos on decks from those formats. But it is good to be back. And like I say, guys, definitely make sure you subscribe for a bunch of Magic content. This will be coming to you pretty quick and fast. But if you want to watch some other Magic content, then make sure to click the video on the screen right now. If you want to watch more Magic content, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, that's it from me in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.